And it should be on their cameras too. So you'll see.
Did he threaten you or anything?
Nah, I never talked to him.
Okay.
No.
No contact with him?
Never talked to him. Thank you, Jesus. Nah, I didn't get out the car. I didn't talk to him. None of that. It's just the point of harassment. People stalking you.
Does he live in your town?
Nope.
No?
He's one of them YouTubers that's just like, how can I say it? Jump up on adrenaline.
Okay. Would your...
Tiffany Henyard, the embattled mayor of Dolton, Illinois, is now facing significant legal challenges after newly surfaced body cam footage captured the exact moment federal agents took her into custody. Henyard has been under federal investigation for months, but this arrest represents a pivotal shift in the developing story. The charges she now faces are grave, revolving around accusations of corruption and misconduct that have long loomed over her leadership. The release of the footage has sparked a storm of controversy in the Dolton community, igniting strong reactions from residents and local officials. Many who have been calling for greater transparency and accountability are now expressing a mix of vindication and concern as the scandal continues to unfold.
And you can tell why there's so much of a trail of incompetence and illegal activity. Those three people are not bright. And they're not even average intelligence. It's below intelligence. I think they believe what they say is great, and they're killing it, and everyone's believing what they're saying, and it's the complete opposite. Everything they say does not make sense. I mean, the way Henyard was speaking, that's a mayor, right? A mayor in...
For months, speculation surrounding Tiffany Henyard had been growing, with rumors of corruption and abuse of power spreading widely throughout the community. Many residents had sensed that it was only a matter of time before authorities stepped. So now, those persistent whispers have become undeniable fact. Multiple reports confirm that the FBI has officially intervened and arrested Henyard, marking a major development in the ongoing investigation.
Chicagoland's supermayor might be going to a supermax prison very soon. The FBI issued multiple subpoenas in the last week, and now we know that a federal grand jury has been investigating Tiffany Henyard for corruption since November. I do not know what more they need to see. The residents of the town literally had a rally called Take Our Township Back last week. It won't be her first time behind bars, but unlike when she was arrested for vehicle trespass, she is now facing 22 criminal charges, and her own lawyer just dropped out because guess what? She hasn't paid her bills, and the city now owes as much as $20 million. This is what happens when people who did not earn their position of authority get access to power. If you didn't know, while she was voted mayor back in 2021, the vast majority of her income and power really comes from her position as township supervisor, where she makes over $220,000 a year. But she only has that huge salary because she inherited it with the position from the predecessor who passed away. Tiffany actually passed an incredibly shady ordinance, so if somebody defeated her in the next election, their salary would only be $25,000. So it's literally not worth it to run against her. You know it's a bad situation when the residents think the best idea is to bring in Lori Lightfoot for $400 an hour. It's so frustrating how slow the wheels of justice turn, but it feels like this story is starting to accelerate, and I hope that Dolton citizens don't have to wait much longer to see her in court.
Village trustees, who had long been vocal about their concerns, say they finally feel a sense of relief now that the FBI has taken action. For months, they had warned the public about Henyard's alleged misconduct, and now they believe this. Federal intervention is a critical step toward protecting both the residents and the integrity of the community.
Have been asking for someone to come out here and save us. There have been a lot of spending, just that we're not really privy of, and we've been.
The FBI's investigation into Dolton has revealed a troubling pattern of alleged corruption directly linked to Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Critics have accused her of mismanaging village funds and engaging in unlawful practices that went unchecked for far too long. Federal investigators have zeroed in on her financial operations, examining the misuse of taxpayer money and how her administration ran the village. These revelations have only worsened Dolton's already dire financial situation, leaving the town mired in millions of dollars of debt. Now, the residents are left to deal with the consequences, struggling to recover from the damage inflicted during her time in office.
They raided the village of Dalton as well as Thornton Township today, dropping subpoenas amid allegations of corruption against Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. This is a story from ABC 7. The FBI said, quote, agents were conducting court-authorized law enforcement activity in that particular area. They obtained personnel records, including those of police officers, as well as business records. Now, of course, the mayor of Dalton has come under a lot of criticism because of her actions. She has been ripped by many of her council members. When she came on the show here, she said, oh, she had done nothing wrong. It was all her critics. Well, now this is escalated. The council also hired former Chicago mayor and former U.S. Attorney Lori Lightfoot to lead an investigation into corruption against Tiffany Henyard. There have been a number of allegations against her. One staffer said that she was sexually assaulted on a city trip to Las Vegas. You have allegations of folks not getting paid in the city. I mean, you name it. Also, people being illegally terminated, and so it's been lots and lots of drama. And again, when Henyard was on this show here, I had sources that were texting me that FBI investigators were literally talking to people.
The controversy surrounding Tiffany Henyard's tenure as mayor has also cast a spotlight on her strained relationship with Dalton's police department. A former police chief has publicly alleged that Henyard misused her assigned police security team, often directing them to run personal errands rather than performing their official law enforcement duties. This claim adds to a mounting list of accusations, suggesting that she exploited her authority for personal gain. "We needed those officers out on the street fighting crime," one critic remarked. But instead, several were busy chauffeuring the mayor around town, highlighting concerns that public safety was compromised under her leadership. Tiffany Henyard has now been labeled by critics as one of the most corrupt mayors in Dalton's history. According to multiple reports, she is accused of intimidating trustees, silencing anyone who dared to oppose her, and removing individuals from their positions simply for speaking out. These allegations have sparked a widespread belief that Henyard isn't just a controversial figure locally. Many now consider her one of the most controversial mayors in the entire country. So, who exactly is Tiffany Henyard? She currently serves as the mayor of Dalton, Illinois, a role that has become increasingly contentious, as nearly every resident in the village now appears to want her removed from office. One of the main drivers behind that sentiment? Her highly questionable use of taxpayer money. Take, for example, her full-time personal security detail, which reportedly follows her everywhere, even around town, at an estimated annual cost of $250,000. But that's just the beginning. Public funds have allegedly been used to plaster billboards with her face and name, decorate government vehicles and buildings with her image, and even produce a personalized 2024 calendar, complete with a shout-out to her own birthday. And the controversy doesn't end there. Henyard has also been accused of attempting to eliminate competition by proposing a drastic pay cut for any future mayor. While she currently draws a salary of around $225,000 a year, she suggested that her successor should earn just $25,000, a 90% reduction. Still, despite the pay cut, several community members remain willing to run, driven by the goal of removing her from power rather than personal gain. Yet the consequences of her time in office extend far beyond financial decisions. The emotional and psychological toll on the community has been severe. Survivors of her alleged abuse and misconduct are now coming forward, bravely sharing stories of intimidation, financial strain, and neglect at the hands of their local government. These personal testimonies paint a heartbreaking picture of the damage done under Henyard's leadership. One woman, her voice trembling with emotion, spoke out, "I waited 20 years. I waited 30 years. I always knew, if this ever happened to me, absolutely not. I would fight for justice." Maybe it feels sudden to you, but this has been a long journey for me. I put my suffering aside, my depression aside, and prayed about whether I should sit here and tell my story. And now I'm ready, she continued. I'm not just fighting for myself anymore. I'm fighting for every woman who's been in my shoes, I'm fighting for the sister without a voice, for the sister who's scared, for the one who doesn't have a sister. This isn't just about me. Internally, staff have described a culture of indifference and dismissal. Several aides reported that Henyard would often multitask during serious conversations, brushing aside critical concerns. One assistant recalled a particularly telling moment during preparations for a trip to Las Vegas. Though the mayor described it as a business trip, the aide, whose 31st birthday coincided with the travel date, shared that even just being near Vegas would have meant something special. "I work hard," she said. "Just being there would have meant something." These stories, combined with mounting evidence of financial abuse and systemic dysfunction, have left the village of Dalton reeling and have turned Henyard's mayoral legacy into a national spectacle of controversy and scandal. Henyard's aggressive behavior only deepened public concern that she had lost complete control of her leadership, governing with zero accountability and total disregard for public trust. In one particularly explosive moment caught on camera, she shouted furiously, "Y'all forget I'm the leader. They want to hear from the mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run." To many, her outburst didn't just sound unprofessional. It confirmed what they had feared all along, that Henyard was abusing her power instead of serving the people she was elected to represent. As her actions spiraled further into public scrutiny, even former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot stepped forward, revealing new troubling details about how Henyard misused taxpayer funds during her time in office. According to Lightfoot, money meant to support and uplift the community was instead spent on extravagant luxuries, questionable business ventures, and a long list of unnecessary purchases. Critics argued that this reckless spending only worsened Dalton's already fragile financial situation, leaving real community needs unaddressed and ignored. Longtime Dalton resident Manning voiced what many in the town were thinking. He didn't mince words when discussing Henyard's spending habits. "All this money," he said, "on air fryers, hotels, and high-end restaurants like Ruth's Chris, Cafe Hollywood, and Hot and Juicy Crawfish, all of it paid by taxpayers, because she claimed she was attending a conference." He continued, "She even spent money at Bubba Gump Shrimp Co., bought a souvenir hat, and had the nerve to wear it to a town council meeting, right when they were questioning her about her spending spree in Las Vegas." The absurdity didn't stop there. When a local news reporter tried to question her about the Vegas trip, the interview quickly took a bizarre turn. Before airing the footage, the reporter warned viewers, "This is not a show. This is not a comedy. This is real life." Then came the exchange. "You didn't go to Las Vegas?" "No car," Henyard mumbled. "You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?" "Of course I do." "Were you?" "It's not paid by them." "Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?" Any other questions? But perhaps the most outlandish revelation yet was her decision to produce a music video, funded with taxpayer dollars. It wasn't even an original track. It featured her singing over someone else's song, complete with a professional production crew and full visuals. One stunned critic commented, "This isn't a political scandal anymore. It's a legit comedy show." The internet quickly exploded with commentary. Some people are already talking about how this saga could make for the wildest political documentary ever produced. "Look at her walking with cops like she's untouchable," one viewer said. "And the crazy part? Everything we've talked about, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. I could honestly do a 10-part series on Tiffany Henyard. She's not just corrupt, and she's iconic in the worst way. Because at the core of it all, Henyard operates with impunity. When she's challenged, she shrugs it off." The public sentiment now echoes a collective frustration with what seems like her open defiance. It's as if she's saying, "I'm going to keep spending taxpayer dollars, and I'm going to keep it moving." Her time as mayor of Dalton, Illinois is already cemented in infamy, not for achievements or progress, but for a legacy defined by unchecked power, relentless controversy, and a staggering list of allegations that turned a small-town mayor into a national cautionary tale.